Hey, what's good, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to the channel Subconscious Truth. It's your girl Raina here, and this reading is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and we're gonna dive right into the energy. We have Aries, Leo, Sag, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Look, a lot of y'all are going through some type of either a spiritual awakening, or y'all are definitely in y'all shadow, where y'all are like meeting a lot of temptation. There's just a lot of temptation around y'all. A lot of sexual energy, a lot of sexual energy. Even kundalini, y'all could be experiencing kundalini experiences through sex. Because with this Page of Wands, it's like very impulsive. Is that it? It's very sexual, especially with this one. I just see it as a phallus. It's like a lot of y'all are really, really, really horny. A lot of y'all are in that sexual energy, especially with this death card. You know, that Scorpio's energy. It's just, and it could be y'all going through a spiritual rebirth of this side of you. But there is a lot of temptation. And again, this is the fall solstice going into the winter. So y'all will be tempted. Y'all definitely will be tempted. But a lot of y'all could be around, like there could be soulmates that's coming around. But it's more of a, it's kind of like they're trying to, it's more of a healing. It's more of a healing, but with this temptation, it may not happen that way, because the temptation may block the healing. But I feel like it's like a lot of y'all is in situations where it's not grounded. It's more of a fantasy. A lot of y'all could be in a state of stagnant energy due to this, because it's like whatever this relationship is, it's just a figure of your imagination. It could be a projection. Like y'all could be projecting things that happened from your childhood onto each other. So there could be a lot of fights, a lot of arguments. But I definitely feel like there's this sexual, you bringing in a lot of soulmates that are bringing this sexual frustration. Like this is from your sacral chakra. It's just a lot of sexual energy. And it's like, this could be blinding you. This is why this hangman is here, because it's like you need to see things from another perspective. It's like, but it's kind of like you can't really see it because of, you can't see it because it's just like too many, it's like a fantasy. It's like whatever you and this person is, it's like y'all in the midst of the fantasy. Y'all in the midst of the very beginning of that relationship, what draws you together, where it's just like, you know, you head over heels for this person, but it's really you seeing things through a lustful nature. Is you seeing things through your desires. It's like your third eye is only seeing things through what it wants, So it's kind of like it's so many temptations around you, and it's like you may be overindulging in it. You may be overindulging in it. But this is this is the beginning stages of you needing to see your shadow, needing to become aware of these patterns and these habits. Because you know how you in the midst of the relationship and you don't even realize it, because you're not seeing straight. You know, it's because there's healing taking place, but it's like because you're so enticed and so in that energy of fantasy, or in your imagination, or trying to fill those voids with this emotional behavior pattern that's not serving you any good, but it's like numbing. It's numbing and it's keeping you in this fantasy, basically, this illusion, so you can avoid actually dealing with the issue. It's like that's kind of what it is. So you could be in a relationship with this person, or it's just someone, that's bringing up these issues, but it's childhood issues. You know what I'm saying? These are childhood issues, but it's like you have emotional behavior patterns that are not healthy to numb it. You know what I mean? To numb it. So you quite don't see your patterns yet. And, eventually, with this Five of Wands, there's going to be a change. There's going to be a shift. When this relationship may need to get grounded. And if you're in the heart of the matter, like, what's coming to you is like you having a hard time adjusting to it being grounded. And now the relationship may be not fun. Now it's like there's nothing there because it never started with anything to begin with but sex. But your impulses, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you were just all in a fantasy, all in your ego, all in lust, all in your desires, all in your passions. It was never actually love. It just was that sexual attraction. It's that energy is what drew you and the soulmate together. But it's kind of like this energy it's only you overindulging in these activities to numb voids, to numb a void, an emotional void. And it's like this has been a habit. This is a habit. This is something that continues to happen over and over and over again. This is why when these relationships come to that point where it needs to be grounded, it's hard to do it. It could be hard to do it for some. Some of y'all may be able to get out of that energy and actually get in a committed relationship. Because it's just like, when it's hard to adjust to change. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what that Five of Wands is. It's just an adjustment to change. But it's definitely you needing to see shit for what it is. But it's kind of like there's blind spots because this shit is up in the air. It could be anything right now. It's because of your temptation. Is a lustful nature. You're definitely in your shadow. Those 7 egos: lust, greed, sloth. It's something like it's something of these natures, but it's definitely a sexual nature. It's definitely sexual. But it's kind of like, you needed to become aware of these patterns because it's just a habit. It's just something that you and this person or you and these soulmates keep going through. You know what I mean? But it just feels so right. But it's like not. It's not. It's more like y'all both enabling each other. Y'all both enabling each other's shadow. That's what I'm seeing. But it's definitely someone, you or the other person, is gonna take a assessment of what's really going on, because like it eventually things don't last forever in the fantasy. Things you can't always escape through fantasy. Eventually you will have to pay attention to your reality. So when things change, that's when. So let me know down in the comment section, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.